Hello, guys, and welcome back to episode 3 of F1 My Team on
Development because they finished
F1
research.
City
Let's
YouTube
get this in
channel.
motion, shall we? Head to engineering for more info.
So, as he just said, we have some more parts ready in research that we have coming in to develop, I believe, and we also have some parts to assign from development. Oh, never mind. We just have development coming in. So we have some development for the arrow, but we already have another one researched, so we'll just go ahead and develop that, and it will be completed before the Japanese Grand Prix, which is the one during this episode. Also, if you, as you can see there, the pistons are done. So we will be developing those. Hopefully they get done. I think they will get done, bar any failure before the Japanese Grand Prix. They should also get done. Durability, my first research is coming through, so that should be ready by next episode or the episode after. I'm not exactly sure. But as you can see here, I have some engine parts to assign, and I just decided to go ahead and assign these to Crawford, I believe, because Bashor has pretty much been our number one driver. But Crawford is the guy that we've been a bit lenient on, as in we haven't really been assigning parts. Anyways, as you can see in the development up in the R&D chart at the
Chief,
beginning,
I must remind you that we have parts fully researched that are waiting for
as you
development.
saw
Let's get that
as
performance
you
on the
saw in the
car.
chart at the beginning, and just there, we are catching very rapidly to Kick Sauber. That is very good. We shall soon no longer be the worst car on the grid. Hopefully, in like I don't know, 3 races, 2 races maybe. We're getting up there, and hopefully it can get done as soon as possible. Um, as we have more upgrades to assign, I'm going to go ahead and assign this one for sure because he's our number one driver. And I figured since I gave the last one to Crawford, it's only right that I give the next one to Bashor. Anyways, as I was saying, I'm not exactly sure what to do in terms of the upgrades because I know that since the regulations are coming up, the regulation change. I don't want to maybe take too much upgrading. I don't want to do too much upgrading because of just how much that's going to um, change, So I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. I do know for personal, the reason I got 2 upgrades at a time is because I want to get to phase 2 so I can start upgrading the stuff so my drivers will develop or my drivers will become better, more experienced, more focused, yada yada. So I know I learned that the drivers don't just upgrade by themselves, or the drivers don't just get better by themselves. You kind of need to buy those facility improvements for that. As we skip ahead to the 27th, not much is happening, so we'll go forward even more. We have tons of research and development. I think both, no, just research coming on the car. We have the front wing um, coming in for that we now should develop, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do wing mirrors so it can help reduce the drag on the mirrors, which is very nice. Never mind, I'm gonna do beam wing, um, which is basically the rear wing stability, I think, or I don't know, weight distribute. I don't know how it works. Um, and then I had to go ahead and decide to do a floor stiffening for chassis because the chassis is pretty bad in the beginning. And then I go ahead and do an ERS upgrade as the spark plug upgrade, or not upgrade, research has come in. So that is a lot of research coming in all at once. So hopefully we can get all this stuff in the car. As you can see there, we're getting close to Kick Sauber. Not exactly quite up there, but it is nice to see that we are catching them. Um,
Hey boss, what do you make of this?
so this is pretty interesting. It's basically a member that spoke out against one of our sponsors, and it gives me the option to release them or discipline them. And I just go ahead and discipline them because I mean, releasing or firing somebody just because they speak bad about a sponsor is very harsh. and it could have negative
Fantastic
benefits. So,
news. One of our parts is now developed. After completing a single part, it will be ready for fitting. We can select which car to install it on. Parts that have been dual developed will automatically be fitted to both cars. Head over to engineering and the assign upgrades screen so you can take a look.
So anyways, I didn't want to fire them just because that would be pretty harsh. Anyways, we have some development coming in here and some more parts to assign. The upgrade is complete for the floor stiffening stays for the aerodynamics. I think that is the rear floor. So we're just going to go ahead and do the front wing flap and get that upgrade on the car. So hopefully our car will be much more downforce heavy going into Japan, which is a very downforce in some areas. It's very downforce needed. And I'm just gonna go ahead and assign this to Vishore because we were driving as Vishore again, and I'm like, let's assign this to Vishore because I'm gonna need to see if I can maybe get into the points again. Which I'm not looking to do at all because that P7 in China was just something else. I'm telling you.
You've earned a training point. Performing your duties as an owner will earn you more training points that can be used to purchase training courses like these here, helping you to develop your skills and become a more effective leader. When you purchase one, you'll then need to schedule time in the activities screen to attend the course and gain the benefit from it. There are 3 different areas of training that you can pursue, and where you choose to focus your efforts will determine what kind of leader you are, represented by your specialization. Why don't we spend that training point now, and then go to schedule the course?
So, for the owner training now, I already have one on engineering because that's what we chose at the very beginning. I think I'm going to go ahead and do corporate because that increases our corporate facility income by 10%. That is a massive increase. Unfortunately, it's too late. Don't have enough time left before the Japanese Grand Prix, which is very unfortunate. But hopefully, we can get that done before Saudi Arabia. I don't know if we'll even be able to do that. If not, we'll have to do that before then or after. But we got some even more development spots for upgrades for the plank, and I'm just gonna. This is a. I think it's a floor. Yes, floor for the chassis, which is very important. And I got the engineering facility improvement done, and I went ahead and do improve research columns. I want to get the engineering stuff done for facility upgrades as soon as possible as well to really give us a good chance of upgrading. So hopefully that will benefit us in the future. Anyways, let's go to Japan.
A warm welcome, everybody, from a venue that has seen plenty of sensational laps over the years. Remember, Verstappen in 23, Vettel in 2019, some phenomenal pole laps. But whose will it be today?
So for qualifying, starting off the opening lap on mediums again, you know, I like to get those mediums out of the way. It saves them for Q2, but we don't use them for Q2. Looking back, I probably should have saved them for the race, but I figured they might return the tires, so I don't even know if I was going to be able to use them. So I went ahead and used them, so skipping ahead further in lap 2 saved time. Heading to the final few corners here. It was an okay lap, a couple mistakes. The first sector was really good. I put a lot more downforce on my car than I think the AI has, so really good to
let's have you in at the end
get
of
the
this
first
lap,
sector good, but on the straightaway I will lose probably a fair amount of time. Anyways, starting our second lap, couldn't quite get those front tires up to temperature. As you can see there, they're pretty ice cold, but gaining a lot of delta time as we just send it through the corner, try to drag it out. I didn't get the best exit. I gained a lot of time in the corner, but didn't get the best exit, but it doesn't matter because we have a corner here and a corner there. But for some reason, even with the soft tires, I wasn't feeling the same amount of grip. And here's where we lost so much time, just drifting the car, because I lost the rear end a little bit. That was a driver error, if I do say so myself. That was completely my fault. I'm not necessarily the fastest driver. I did actually forget to quite up the difficulty as much as I wanted to. which is very unfortunate. That's a genuine mistake. I'm not just saying that. I actually forgot to upgrade it as we dipped the tire into the gravel during qualifying, which is not very good at all. But yes, this track is not my strongest suit. It is more than Bahrain probably is, the one upcoming, and like Miami. Those are two tracks for me that I'm not the best at. But I'm still not the best at this one. I'm probably, out of all the tracks, actually, funny enough, my favorite out of all the ones I've driven so far, Australia is actually my favorite, even though I performed poorly there. Anyways, moving on. It is not a good lap. We are 4/10 down at a time. I am gaming slightly at a time, but I go absolutely hugely deep there. I didn't mean to do that at all. I think I missed my braking points. I've been missing my braking points really a lot lately, which is very unfortunate. And that is remaining keeping us at P21 ahead of our teammate, thankfully. And funny enough, look at silly me again. I forgot to get out for qualifying in time, like I did in Australia. So that will be costing us. That would have. I feel very confident that if I would have gotten out of time, I would have improved at least 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 places, maybe 5 or 6. Like I was feeling like I could qualify a lot. It's just those mistakes on my first soft lap were very cost heavy, and the first lap I did on mediums wasn't very good because I was on mediums. So I felt that I really could have gotten out there. As you can see, all I needed was, I don't know, like a couple tenths, and I would have been, you know, if I would have been 6 tenths faster, which I think I could have comfortably done, I would have been ahead of Stroll. So that would have been very nice. Anyways, let's put that behind us as we go to race day.
Suzuka in the springtime where the cherry blossom is in full bloom. But who's blooming out on our track and who's flourishing on this wonderful day at this magnificent track? Welcome along to Suzuka and the Japanese Grand Prix. A lap of this historic racetrack covers 3.6 miles. It's the only time during the season that we race on a figure-of-8 circuit. And the drivers can expect some intense G-forces through the 18 corners on offer here as they experience some of the highest average apex speeds on the Formula One calendar. Keep an eye out for overtakes into the final chicane. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Lando Norris lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Piastri, Tsunoda, George Russell, and Hamilton. Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, and Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Albon, Hülkenberg, Liam Lawson, and Leclerc. Doohan, Stroll, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Isaac Hadjar. Behrman, Gasly, Vershaw, and Jack Crawford rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me today, a man small in stature but big on comment, Anthony Davidson. Hello. Glorious Suzuka. It's a bit like Silverstone, an iconic track for which we couldn't have an F1 season without it. And so much for the drivers to think about around here.
Absolutely, Crofty. The only figure-of-8 circuit that we have on the calendar, and you kind of wonder, why don't we have more? Because it's such a good format. The drivers love this track. It's got a great flow to it, a fantastic circuit. Not the best for overtaking, but my goodness, from inside the car, it's a real treat for the drivers.
Back of the grid is not what we're aiming for. See if you can make up a few places at the start.
So, in terms of strategy, I thought that the soft, hard strategy would go well. Just because I thought starting on the softs would go good, and going on the softs again, maybe hoping for some type of, I don't know, safety car or something. I don't really know what I was thinking. The soft hard has benefits in terms of our beginning pace would be pretty good, and I think most of the people are going on mediums, and Patrick going on soft. Most of the people are going on mediums. There's Gasly going on mediums. I don't know what it is about Gasly. We just always find Gasly. He's either when we're doing bad, he's doing bad, and when he's doing good, we're doing good. Anyways, skip to the end of the formation lap. You can see our tires just did not get warmed at all. That's gonna be a reoccurring thing with me. So that's very unfortunate. Anyways, let's get to the start of the Japanese Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go, and it looks like Lando Norris got a pretty good jump start on Verstappen. Good jump start heading into turn 1 as we cut back to us, diving it down the inside of Gasly, but oh my goodness, we just hit Behrman, and that has to be front wing damage, and that's just a very unfortunate way to start. It's not major front wing damage, but it's slightly yellow, maybe greenish yellow, so in mixed with the dirty air as well on these softs, not a great way to start the opening lap as we try to get something going around the outside, but we won't be able to. Behrman's just in a faster car, and all that dirty air is happening, and everything just not a good combination going on here at all, as we just try to send it down the inside. Oh my days, we almost just crashed there, and it's a very fortunate that we stay on the track as we banging wheels with Gasly, and we fortunately get ahead of him, but that was just an unbelievably risky send by us, and that should probably never have been attempted. But we tried to get like 2 or 3 cars in that overtake there, just very, very hopeful, and maybe a little bit too eager to get the move done on there as we try to dive it down the inside of Bortoleto. We run off the track. That's definitely not the best way to overtake. I probably should have handed the position back there. Anyways, we carry on lap 1, and the tire was already horrible, and we have no temperature in the front heading back to the beginning of lap 1. Norris gets Verstappen, and Tsunoda is 3rd place in his home Grand Prix. Maybe he can get a podium. We will see. Piastri 4th, not doing the best. That goes Russell, Hamilton, Alonso, Sainz. So I feel like that's kind of similar to what we saw in China, almost. It's just a little bit different. As we overshoot the brakes again, which is very unfortunate. Heading into the final turn, try to dump the battery. Although I probably should have waited till
we can now use DRS.
more of the end of the straight to dump the battery, but I don't think it really matters as the tires are still basically ice cold. We're losing time to Behrman. We're already out of DRS range. We can definitely gain it back because we're on sauce and we have a little bit of a higher rear wing. So I think we will be able to get it in this area specifically. But when the dirty air is around, it probably won't be the best thing because we know that the dirty air is definitely a big problem here in Japan, which causes it to be a little bit like Monaco without the walls, obviously. Just pretty hard to overtake, pretty hard to do what you want, which is really unfortunate as we run a bit wide there. We get not the cleanest of releases as I turn up the front brake bias just because I like having front brake bias in that corner. I don't know why. I don't like that corner at all. A little waggle from the rear end, and we try to get the power down to try to see if we can get an overtake here on Behrman on the 2nd lap of the race, climbing through the gears. This is probably the one area of the track where I can't keep it on the track. I just keep going off the track. Unbelievably unclean racing by yours truly, but we stick with it, and we shall see what happens as we are now in DRS. Very crucial for a race to stay in DRS, because if we're not, we're already a higher downforce rear wing setup, and if we don't get that DRS, we will be absolutely cooked on the straights. But thankfully we have it here. As Max Verstappen sets the fastest lap of the race, and we are just trying to keep up with people as we do set the fastest final sector, which is pretty nice to see. We go to Norris versus Verstappen on lap 2. Well, now 3. Verstappen breezes past Norris with DRS, and so what do we know? It's Verstappen and Norris 1-2. It's like we've seen so many times this season. We've seen it 3 times already. Once in the sprint, now in China, now here, and it was Verstappen and then Norris in 3rd in Australia. So it's a really Verstappen-Norris thing here, except it's literally just Verstappen. Norris isn't even trying, as we're just trying to stay close to get into that DRS, but this dirty air is affecting us when it comes to trying to get close to Behrman. But so far, everybody's kind of staying in a train. If you look at the mini-map, the entire except for Norris and Tsunoda kind of pulling away from the pack. Everybody else is relatively close together, about a second apart, give or take, you know, a half a second, you know. But like that's still pretty crazy how they're so close. I mean, I know it is lap 3, but still, usually you see like already like a 2-second separation or something because some cars are just so slow, like us. Anyways, as we skip ahead to lap 4, here we're just going through the motions, nothing crazy, trying to not absolutely burn through the tires because our tire wear was going absolutely insane. So I would usually by now trying to be overtaking everybody, but here I'm just trying to stick in the train and stick in that DRS as we hitch to the back of Behrman. And we're keeping Gasly behind us and Bortoleto as well, even though Bortoleto I'm pretty sure is several seconds behind us, which is very crucial for our race. As we go to lap 5, Tsunoda has the DRS on Norris, and he breezes past Norris at his home Grand Prix as well. So the home fans must be loving this. It's a Red Bull 1-2, and their home favorite is up into 2nd place. As we go on to lap 6, Gasly tries to overtake us, and we nudge him to the grass. Oh my goodness, very not clean racing at all. And he breezes by us, and we try to come back at him here, try to get a little switch back going, and it's nothing happening, so I just stick to the racing line. And this is very unfortunate because this is going to be giving us more dirty air as we move on to lap 8. This is our pit lap or box lap, or I don't know, whatever you want to call it, in lap. There we go. As we come in and just sliding, trying to get that car stopped. Very close to getting speeding in the pit lane as we see what kind of stop time is it. Oh my goodness, that left rear tire. It's like we're doing ringing around the rosy. In Australia, it was the front right. In China, it was the rear right, and in Japan, it was the rear left. What is it going to be next? The front left, ring around the rosy or something? Next thing you know, it's going to be all the tires that aren't attached. And these tires are very cold, but I'm feeling very confident on these fresh, soft tires. And I think I can set in some unbelievable flat times on these. So I'm actually, at this point, very happy that I made the decision to box lap 8 because I'm feeling very easy and breezy and feeling like I have a lot of downforce here in this section. And I think I can really take it fast. I don't know if you guys are saying what I'm saying, but to me it just feels much quicker and I just feel like I can just take things. Maybe it's because I came off like 50 to 60% wear soft. Maybe that has just a little bit to do with it. But I am definitely very glad as we are already catching to Hadjar, which I'm very glad to see. Little force crack there. But Leclerc, he is also pitted. He is down in 20th. He's down in P20. He started 14th because, I don't know if you saw, he crashed in qualifying. So him in 20th, pitting to the soft, trying to set some lap times on. So clearly, good lap times on. So clearly, he's going for the two stop. As we're just trying to get the best lap time possible. And oh, it's a purple middle sector, so we really are flying on these soft tires as we finally get our braking point right. I just, for some reason, couldn't focus at all during the previous parts of the race, but somehow it's all the cars coming alive, and it's 2 purple sectors. As oh my, we're absolutely flying here. If we hadn't have pitted, if the first sector wasn't off a pit and it was off a flying lap, we could have just set it the fastest lap. Maybe not quite that fast, but we were definitely flying. As now we have Stroll to deal with, which is very unfortunate. We were flying, as now you can see I'm kind of struggling to get that car turned, and I'm just not feeling nearly as grippy as we were before. And Stroll's really impeding our race because we're trying to get that undercut going on some other people. But I think most people are doing the 2-stop, so I'm trying to get the undercut by setting faster lap times. As Stroll comes in, this was him before he started to kind of ruin our race a little bit. And let's see what kind of stop time he would have gotten. Lawson and Hadjar both came in. I think they were, oh no, sorry, Ocon and Lawson. What are they doing? Double stacking? I'm not sure. As it's a good-ish kind of stop for Stroll. So I feel that his stop time kind of helped them out compared to us. If we would have had the same stop time as him, I think we would have been ahead of him. Let's see what our teammate can have. Let's see, Crawford, not the fastest, but that looks a bit faster than us. So I don't know what's up with the team. They just don't like us. That's what I'm down to. And I think my next personal, or I don't know, corporate upgrade, I think I'm down to, oh, we send it down the inside of Stroll. What an overtake. just sending it down the inside. We could have very easily ended both of our races. That was very risky from me. Anyways, as I was saying, I think our next personal or corporate upgrade definitely needs to be getting a better pit stop crew. That just needs to be one of them, as I believe we are closing to Hajar, but did he pit? No, I thought he pitted on this lap, but apparently not. As Gasly's in the past and hits, and we breeze past Gasly, but Stroll decides to come in and absolutely, what are you doing? I'm sorry, we didn't breeze past Gasly. Gasly is now in front of us. I think we could have gotten Gasly if Stroll wouldn't have just stuck his gearbox straight into our nose. So that is very unfortunate, as we see Russell coming into the pits from P5. What tire is he on? I believe he's on mediums, I believe. So, I mean, it would be very audacious of him to get that one stop going, but I believe he is going on to the hard tire. Or is that the soft hard? Nope, hard tire. It's a good stop for Alonso as well. He's definitely doing a two-stop because he's got soft tires on. But Russell, let's see if the two-stop's a better game plan or the one-stop this race as we go back to our point of view and we send it down the inside of Stroll. Beautiful overtake. I think I have definitely learned that dive bombs is pretty much the only way I can overtake in this track of a car. And I'm also just not a fast driver, so the car is slow and I am slow. So I think we just need to barge our way in there because forget being respectful, honestly, because I'm not the best at clean, respectful racing, as you guys have definitely seen during this series. Let's see what stop time it is for Verstappen. That left rear is a slow one for him as well. Looks like he's going on to the two-stop because he's got soft tires on. There's no way you want to do a one-stop with soft tires. They definitely would not last at all. But that is a slow stop for him, and that is a bad stop for the leader. That is very unfortunate for him. Anyways, let's see what we can do on Gasly. Gasly, our pretty much main rival here, as we tend to always be battling him for any position. We're battling him for the points, and we were battling him for P20 now. P18, goodness me. So we go from battling him for P8 to battling him for P18. So it is very funny as Tsunoda comes in for his stop. And Hamilton as well. So the two leaders come in for their stop. Let's see what kind of stop Tsunoda can get. The Red Bull pit crew kind of screwed over Verstappen's race a little bit. He looks like he's doing two stop as well. He's got softs on. That's a pretty good stop, but it's not a good stop for Hamilton. That both rear tires are taking forever to get on the car, and it's a patented Ferrari pit stop. Looks like us and Ferrari have found something in common, and it's definitely not what we want to find in common with Ferrari. We want to find in common speed, not a slow pit stop and bad strategy. As we go to lap 14, going around 130R. This is the lap we pit, so I don't bother fighting Stroll, but I have to give it to Stroll. That's a pretty gutsy move and a good overtake. We see if we can send it down the inside, and we actually stay relatively respectful. We don't really hit him there, but it is his position, so we just figure we'll take it back with DRS and see what we can make of that. As we easily breeze past Stroll. Sorry, I think we're pitting lap 15 or 16, not 14. I don't know what I was saying. As we go to Piastri, going through the final corners, he's getting absolutely hammered, pressurized by Tsunoda, and he's going to go into pit. I believe he would have gotten overtaken by DRS if he would not have pitted. So, good call by the team to bring him in and see what he can do off that two-stop, I believe. I believe it is a two-stop, unless it isn't. No, I think it is. Although he does have the hard tires on. Let's see if does he go to the mediums. He goes to the mediums, so I think it might be a one-stop. That's very interesting. He's down in P7. P8, excuse me. Or, nope, it's going to turn into P11. As we go to our second stop. Ooh, almost hit the wall trying to hit the brakes there. On lap 17 or 16, sorry. And, oh, look, I called it, ring around the rosy. Horrible stop on the front left tire. So, our team, look at that, 3.9. That's our fastest pit stop that we've had in a couple races now. That's devastating. How is your fastest pit stop 3.9, and how are we missing every tire? Anyways, let's focus back in on Leclerc. He was P20, now he's P8, having an unbelievable comeback drive from 14th. He will have to pit again, but I believe that he can get some real pace going in that Ferrari. Maybe feeling really comfortable around this track, so maybe he can come back into the points and help his team out in the championship a little bit as we go to Alonso. He is doing pretty good in P7, so in this universe, Alonso's consistently getting 8th, 9th, 7th, 6th, 10th, you know, and unlike real life, he's definitely not consistently doing that. As we go to Sainz, he's doing very good in the Williams in P6. And unlike in real life, he's struggling a little bit in the Williams. He's a great driver, but he is struggling a little bit. Russell in P5, Hamilton P4, and then the 2 Red Bulls and Norris, who is now coming into pit. I believe they on the 2 stop because there's no way that they drag. Well, they could have dragged hard tires out, but I believe he's on the medium, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, he is on the hard tire. So I believe he is doing the 1-stop. He is doing the 1-stop, and I think Norris. Oh yes, Norris is doing the 1-stop, and Verstappen is doing the 2-stop. I think that's going to be very interesting because those are really the 2 contending for the lead. So it's really going to be interesting what we see. As now we breeze by Gasly coming out of the pits. And now we have a 2-second, 3-ish, 2-second gap, but these tires are hard tires and he's got soft tires, and I don't feel real comfortable with these tires. They're already slightly worn in and they're not the warmest tires, which is crazy. I think they're already like 10%. I'm not sure at this point in the race. I didn't check my tires very much, but I think they're around 10%-ish, and already 2 laps in, and they're already cold as well. So that's very not ideal for that combination, cold tires that are worn, as we see Verstappen coming into his 2nd stop. So he is doing the 2-stop because there's no way he takes a soft and a medium work as he goes on to his 2nd or soft. So it looks like about half or 2/3 of the AI is doing a medium soft approach, and the rest are doing a hard medium approach. We do not have the right tire wear in our car. Our car treats tires very harshly as we defend the Stroll from making any kind of overtake there. And oh, never mind, he absolutely sends it down the inside. What an unbelievable overtake by Stroll. I actually give it to him. I'm not excited here watching this because it's Lance Stroll sending an absolute beautiful overtake on our car, and who really is going to be excited about that? I do believe Stroll is a better driver than people say he is, but still, nobody wants that to happen, but especially when it comes from Lance Stroll. As we go to Norris, defending from Verstappen on lap 22. So it looks like that 2-stop might be a bit better because neither of them are going to pit from here on out. And now Verstappen has track advantage. So unless a red flag happens and Norris can get onto some softs and get on some equal ground, then I believe Verstappen will pull away from this race and win his 3rd race, or excuse me, 4th if you account the sprint race in China, as Gasly just breezes by us with DRS. I didn't even try to defend that too well, as I see if I can set up some type of switchback or some type of something, but nothing's coming alive in this car. And this car is just absolutely struggling on the hard tires, and that is just really unfortunate. So here, I'm just, for basically the rest of the race, I'm just trying to eke out that gap as we go to the final lap of the race, defending from Bortoleto. Look at that, Gasly now has 10 seconds on us. He went from 2 to 10 in the span of just a couple laps. As we go to the finish line, what will it be? Let's see, will it be us or Bortoleto, and to the line, and it looks like it will be us. That is very close finish, and I'm very happy that we did not finish as the bottom 2 cars, we finished as 2 of the bottom 3 cars. That's a lot better. As Leclerc gets driver of the day, I believe he finished P6, 7, 5, 8, one of those. So very good drive from him. But even better, the drive from Verstappen. That he has won every race, every sprint race, every race. I think he's gotten 3 out of the 4 poles. So dominant season what we see so far, and Lando Norris is very firmly in 2nd, as he's gotten 1/3, and the rest of the time he's gone 2nd. So it looks like he and Verstappen are really having a rivalry here, but not much of a rivalry because Verstappen's winning everything. So if Lando doesn't win one of these couple of next races, Verstappen might just be running away with it in the first 3. Obviously, he's not actually running away with it. We know how crazy this game could be because it's a game, and we know how crazy it can be in real life. So if it can be crazy in real life, it could be crazier in a game. And we definitely know how 24 started out, so it could definitely turn into a championship battle. We just need to see if Lando got the pace to challenge Verstappen. Tsunoda on the podium in his home Grand Prix. That is an underrated, or not underrated. That is something that I did not necessarily pay enough attention to. That is a big win for him. And he is doing much better, it seems like, in this game than he is in real life with that Red Bull. Anyways, as we go, and yes, Leclerc got P7, and Piastri drops down to 5th from a 3rd on the grid. Lewis Hamilton has a good drive as well, so both Ferraris doing pretty well, especially based off of their qualifying. As we go down to see what our team's doing, and we're doing not very much, as Jack Crawford, my teammate, just does nothing. I think he's been in the back pretty much the entire time. I mean, I've been in the back the entire time, but at least I was up there for 18th. He was pretty much back there the entire time. He qualified completely back there. I think he was about a second off our pace. I mean, I know he has some more upgrades than we do, but let's see if we can change that next episode. Anyway, guys, let me know if you liked it, and make sure to subscribe. See you in the next one.